And welcome everybody, it's Dan. Welcome to a podcast show. I do hope you're well. Welcome to 2026. I know we've already got some podcast shows out already live. But in this session today, I wanted to talk about why is it that even though we know what we're supposed to be doing, we're not actually doing the stuff that's going to go out and get us those results. And I want to cover this off because I think this is really important. More than going through skills-based training, more than more education, more than motivation and all of that kind of thing. I think this podcast is probably going to be one of the more important podcasts that you listen to all year. Because if you can implement the stuff that we're going to teach you in this podcast, 2026 is going to be vastly different than 2025 and all the previous years, because you're not going to be the same person as you go through this year as you were for all the other years. So the stuff that's really been stopping you is that your identity. So for example, let's say you want to be a millionaire. Your identity as to how you show up when it comes to making money and running a business has a certain, I don't want to use the word vibration because it gets a bit woo-woo and I don't really like that, but it has a certain standard. And so the way that you think about yourself, if you believe that as a entrepreneur that you can definitely make £1 million and it's easy to do so, then that makes making £1 million so much easier than thinking to yourself, actually making that first million, gosh, it's so hard and it's so difficult and all of that kind of thing. And it's really interesting as well, because when I first got into property, I knew property was easy. I just couldn't understand why other people weren't getting into property. And as I've got older, my attitudes on property have definitely changed, and property has then got harder as well. And it's not actually property that's changed, it's me that's changed fundamentally. And it's the same in business. When we first started doing digital marketing products, gosh, it was so hard. Everything was challenging. And then when we swapped around who I thought I was and how I then showed up, it transformed it yet again. It's not more knowledge. It's not less knowledge. It's not more capabilities. It's not less capabilities. It is literally about how you are showing up. So if you show up and you go, okay, I'm going to lose some weight, but you've always been 20 kilos overweight, that mindset shift is actually the thing that's going to drop the weight for you, not the diet. And I know that sounds really weird, and I know that sounds really woo-woo, but everything begins in the mind, everything ends in the mind. And if you don't get this sorted, you're going to be set to repeat the same mistakes that you made last year and the year before and the year before. And the reason for this is what we call your identity. So your identity is when you show up in business, that is who you are. So if you are 20 kilos overweight and you go into a networking event, people can see that, okay? And then when they see that, the way that they interact with you will be in a particular sort of way. Trust me on this. You drop 10 kilos, people react to you differently. It's just different. I've walked into rooms. I was out at a nightclub, not a nightclub, but like a late bar in Leeds with my mate called Steve. Comes up, we go to Viaduct. It's a gay bar, lots of fun. Steve's gay, so we always come up and we always go to that club. And we got talking to these two ladies who were married, and I got compliments. I was in a short sleeve shirt and I got compliments because my arms were on show. And obviously I work out, and not obviously, but I work out and I do CrossFit and all of that kind of thing. Honestly, but that compliment will stay with me for the next 10 years, by the way, because we're men, that's what happens. We don't get many, do we? But the way that people show up is different. I went to a networking event and I sat down next to this person. One of the very first things they said was, well, you look like you work out. Like, honestly, it's a game changer. Losing that weight, getting to the gym, working out. And through that process, there is a transformation in identity. I now identify as a CrossFit athlete. Am I in the CrossFit Games? No. But if you told me to run 2 miles, climb a rope, carry this 65 kilogram guy or an 80 kilogram guy or this 50 kilogram child a mile, I can do all of that stuff, right? Because that's how I identify, because of all the training that I've done. And the training enabled me to change the way that I perceive myself. And the way that you perceive yourself is so vital. When I first started property sourcing, I identified as a property sourcer. I went on all the training that I could. I spoke to as many people as possible. I got as much experience as I could. And through all that experience, I identified as a property sourcer and a property investor. And we got to making a lot of money very, very quickly through property because of how I identified. If I'd have shown up at those networking events saying, I'm Dan and I don't know what I'm doing, and please help, oh, woe is me, like damsel in distress kind of thing, there is no way would people be wanting to do deals with me. But because I showed up going, I'm Dan, I've got this deal, this is why it looks good, this is why you should buy it. But the transformation is completely different, right? And so the way that you're showing up in life, usually the standard is down here when the standard needs to be here. Everybody else's standard is here. Okay. And actually, between those two standards right there, you actually even need to be just here, just slightly above everybody else to be on the power pit, to be on the, to be over everybody else effectively. You don't even need that much more experience to be the knowledgeable one. But if you're always saying to yourself, oh, I'm new to property and I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm new to digital marketing and I don't know what I'm doing, I can't do this on this computer because I don't understand computers. The way that you're telling yourself and programming yourself is negative, right? And so these standards are actually going lower, not higher. So if I identify as a CrossFit athlete and I see, I looked at today's WOD and I'm like, and I've actually woke up with a sore neck today. God damn it, right? I work out all the time and I slept funny with a sore neck. But, if it wasn't for a sore neck, I could go do the workout, crush it, because I identify as a CrossFit athlete better than I did 3 years ago when I first started the sport. Not that it's a sport, but it is a sport. First started working out. It's just completely different how I identify. And the way that you talk to yourself is really important. And I'm not saying that you should be a CrossFit athlete that's on TV and all of that kind of thing to identify as a CrossFit athlete. I'm not saying that you have to identify as the world's #1 marketer to talk to other people about marketing, because you don't need that. You just need more than everybody else, or more than most people. And most people don't know anything anyway. Okay. And it's this self-talk, this idea about you moving forward in life and about how you identify. And there's certain things that I think that you can do that will help you identify whatever it is that you're wanting to do. So for example, we've got a 90-day transformation coaching program. It's called the Legendary Set, and it's specifically to help you with this. And I'm not going to go into it too much. It's on the website. You can go and have a look. But in that session, we have what we call a 90-day planner. And on that 90-day planner, one of the questions it asks you every single morning, who are you today? Because I want you to identify as someone who's uplifting, positive, capable, an expert, a beacon of light and hope for everybody else, confident. I think I said that one. So, for example, today I'm positive and optimistic that the work that I do will have great results. I'm bold, confident, and assured of my results if I put the work in. Like, listen to that language. So, therefore, all I have to do is put the work in and I'll be bold and confident and get the results. If I just put the work in. Yeah, but Dan, what if you don't get the results just because you're putting the work in? Well, first up, I am never going to get the results if I don't put the work in. So first up, you need to put the work in. Second up, you need to have faith that the work that you're doing is going to move you forward. I'm not going to go through this entire timesheet because it's to our members only. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different areas that we cover in this timesheet, so that every single day you've got focus on who are you meant to be today, who you're supposed to be showing up at, what you're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be achieving, and having that conscious focus on what it is that you're supposed to achieve in this particular day. Because, by the way, once today is gone, it's gone. It will never come back. You never get another chance to redo today. Yeah, you might move some tasks onto tomorrow, but then what happened to the tasks that you were supposed to do tomorrow? Are they going next week, next month, and next year? Or how about you just do all the things that you're setting out on this sheet of paper and you go and get them done? It's all aligned to your goals. This is where you need to be. And this is one of the reasons why 2026 is for most people going to be the same as 2025. I'm sure you've heard this. People don't live to 70 with 70 years of experience. They live to 70 with 1 year experience repeated year after year after year for the next 25, 30, 40, 50 years. And that's what we want to avoid. And the way that you do that is that you have to reset your identity. You have to reset who you believe you are, because the results that you're getting today are in alignment with who you believe you are. It's got something to do with the skills and your experience, but very, very little. I was watching something today. It was an Instagram post, and it was talking about how people think the most intelligent people are the people who have the most successful companies, and that's just simply not true. They've ran experiments from Stanford, I think it was. I can't remember if it was Stanford. They ran experiments and tested all the way through to see who was getting the best results, and it's not the most intelligent people. Like, think about that. Think about all those people in what's it called? The IQ thing, Mensa. Think about all those people in Mensa. You'd think they're amazing at relationships, they know what to eat, they're very rich and wealthy, and everything works so well. And actually, have you met people from Mensa? Like literally, have you met some of those people? They're the most unsuccessful people. Maybe it's because they settle on their IQ. Oh, I'm in Mensa, don't you know? And actually, no. Like, if you've met people from Mensa, you'll know exactly what exactly what I mean, by the way. Oh my gosh, so easy to get into trouble, isn't it, these days? So, sorry, if you're in Mensa, I'm sure you're lovely and you don't smell. So, the mothballs. So, or look weird and have dodgy hair. So, this is the key: is that you've got to change your identity, and so we have this thing called an identity shell. And within our identity shell, it's made up of various different things. Behaviors, skills, for example, is one of them. Self-talk, how you talk to yourself when you bang your knee on the desk and you go, oh, I'm such a knobhead, oh, I'm useless, oh, everything always fails for me, I'm always injuring myself, oh, I'm useless. I'm right. Like, if you said that stuff, I've definitely said that stuff. I might have even said it this last week. Like, that's really negative self-talk. How do you think that's working on your identity? It's not working very well at all. And you know, NLP's got this down really well. So it's got behaviors, it's got skills, it's got memories, it's got self-talk. What else has it got? It's got time and what's the other one? Time and space. It wasn't space, it was time and volume. I forget my old NLP slides. But working on this self-talk is actually one of the most important things that you could do. And one of the problems is you go away on a weekend course and you work on some identity stuff and self-talk and memories and behaviors and values and standards, how you show up in the world. Like, you go on a weekend course and you do all that, you think, brilliant, I'm fixed. And then you come back into your normal environment. Your environment is another one of those, by the way, which makes up your self-identity. So you come back into the normal world and then shit hits a fan again. And you're like, well, why is that? And it's because it's not something that you can just go away for a weekend and come back and everything's shifted. This is something that you have to do on a daily basis. Is it Zig Ziglar who talked about being motivated, and it's like bathing? It dissipates just being motivated over time, which is why you have to do it daily, like bathing. And it's absolutely true. Working on your self-identity is not something you wake up one day and you do it. It's something that has to be solid for at least 90 days. And if not 90 days, certainly a lifetime, right? Like, this is something that you're working on all the time. How many times have you had it where you've been stuck in life and then you've lifted this mindset that's been blocking you, and then suddenly everything opens up and everything goes your way? Like, I've had that numerous occasions, and then something happens and it comes and it puts a lid back on it, and you're like, what is that? Why I was getting over these results, why has it stopped? It's because you were doing something slightly different, you thought something slightly different. And this is all self-talk, all self-identity, how you show up in the world and how you perceive yourself and how you talk to yourself. All this is the main reason why you're either going to get the results that you want in 2026 or the reason why you're not going to get those results in 2026. You have to fundamentally shift the person who you are going to be, and you have to show up. So when you go to a networking event and you walk in the door feeling all nervous and shy, how do you think that is going to work compared to you walking in feeling confident, being the center of attention, not in a knobhead way, by the way, but being a beacon of hope and listening to other people and networking and introducing other people to other people? Like, That is such a different way of showing up at a networking event. And if you do that enough times over enough period of time, you're going to be wealthy, right? But how many times can we do that? How many times do we feel shy? How many times do we live stream? Oh, I better not live stream today. I feel so shy. What if someone doesn't like who I am or what I've got to say? Like I've had that. I've had to go through that. And it's only, I'd say, I mean, we're coming up to nearly 1,000 podcast shows. And I still have to do some self-talk work before I go live. Like this is pre-recorded and then we stream it. Because right now, for some reason, I don't want to go on live stream. I don't know why. But recording it, I can say whatever the fuck I want. Live streaming, oh no, what if someone's watching if I don't like what I'm saying? Right, it just enables me to move off what other people are thinking and me worrying about what other people are thinking so that I can actually just come out and say exactly what it is that I want to say and get off my chest and help, hopefully help lots of other people through the podcasts and the audio podcasts and the little short videos that we do and so on. And when people sign up for the Legend Reset, the 90-day transformation, that's what they're going to get as well. That's why we do this, is because we want people to be able to transform themselves into what they got last year into something much better this year. And the way that you're going to be able to do that is through transforming your self-identity. That's why the NLP stuff works so well, by the way. We use a lot of NLP in the 90-day transformation because it works so well. It is a mental transformation. Do we do physical transformations as well? Absolutely. There's some weight loss stuff that's in there. There's some content stuff that's in there. But the biggest and main thing is the mental stuff. You get this done, everything else simply falls into line. It's really, really easy. One of the other things that's on this sheet, by the way, is nutrition. So, for example, I've actually eaten today and I had chicken and rice, I had peppers, and I had like this mango curry sauce, all in the oven. Really, really nice. About 600 calories in there. Ties into my calorie goal, which is about 1,800 at the moment, every single day, which allows me to get the weight loss. Being really focused on that, because I've got the sheet, and one of the other things that's on this sheet is, did you live stream today, by the way? It's another box I can tick off. Because I have so much more conscious awareness of the things that I know I should be doing that's going to get me those results, it means I'm more consciously aware of doing those things that's then going to go off and get me those results. Because how many times do you wake up and you just go through life and then you get to the end of the day and it feels like you've not done anything and you've been really unconscious throughout the whole day. Like it's just been on automatic. You knew you're supposed to do some stuff, and then you did some stuff and you didn't do the other stuff because just life got in the way. But how many times does that happen? Quite a lot. But if that happened for the next 365 days, bear in mind it's the 7th today, and I'm not sure when you're listening to this, but it's the 7th today. Bearing in mind that actually we've got 358 days left, including this one. Shit, dude, you are running out of time. Like, you understand that, right? I had a long conversation with my mate Dave, a different friend, and we're planning what we want to do for 2026. Do something a bit crazy. He's got a list of 10. I've got a list of 10. We're going to look at the best 5 each, and then we're going to plan the next 10 years. So, we've done a yoga retreat, for example. We went to Bosnia to the pyramid, which isn't the pyramid, but everybody thinks it is, but it's not. We do stuff, right? We went to Benidorm one weekend, which was hilarious, by the way. Very drunken weekend. But if you think about it, I think Dave's 57 now. I'm 53. How many more years do you think we've got to do in that before we can't do it anymore? One of the things I want to do is go horse riding on the beach in Morocco, like full speed, by the way. That looks amazing. One of them's the iron ore train across Mauritania. Amazing images, amazing experience. How many years do you think we've got left in order to do that? If Dave's 57, usable years, 10 more years, 67? How many more usable years do you think you have? And then think about that. We know there's 365 days in a year. So that's 3,650 days. That's it, right? Of usable days where you can go do some crazy ass stuff. And if you fall off a horse, you'll recover. If you fall off a horse in your late 60s, you might not recover. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean by usable summers, for example. Like, with 358 days left in this year, which is why having a sheet of paper with day 7 of the year, or whatever it is, in a 90-day transformation, I'm on day 1. This is what you should be doing. Every day needs to be very consciously aware, thought through, everything needs to have got done that you were actually going to go out and do, which makes the future days so much easier, because now you're getting the benefit from the work that you did today. Whereas it's really easy to put off that work you've done today, or the work that you should have done today, into next week, next year, next month, next year, and it just never gets done. And then in a few years' time, you haven't really moved forward like you have done, but you got 30% done of what you should have got done instead of a full 100%. And suddenly you haven't got the results, and you haven't got the lifestyle, and you're not happy, and you're still overweight, and you're still not making the money that you want. It's because you didn't do the stuff that's going to get you the results that you've already identified. You just got to go out and get them done. And again, the thing that's going to stop you from getting those done is your self-identity. It's not your skills, it's not your knowledge, it's not your work ethic, it's not your discipline, it's not your motivation, it's not all these things that we all need, that we all think it is. I need motivation daily, by the way. I'll just put it out there, be really honest. I absolutely need motivation every single day. I don't know why that is. I just know that it is. Is it a mental thing that I've got going on? I have no fucking clue. But I just know that it exists. And knowing that I know that it exists, I put myself in a position so that when I'm on Instagram, I get the right level on story, reels, I get the right level of motivation and inspiration, because I need it every single day. And I'm guessing you do as well. But I also need to go out and get all my list of stuff done that I need to go and get done. That also has to be done every day so that I can also hit my goals. And maybe some of the reels that we put out on Instagram where we're doing some various stuff, maybe that's somebody else's motivation, which is really cool, by the way. How cool is that if that's true? Maybe it's not. Who cares? If it is, then great. But this is the thing, you being in a position mentally to identify as whatever it is that you want to identify as, in order for you to go out and get the work done, be it a CrossFit athlete, be it the world's #1 marketer, be it the UK's best business person, be it whatever it happens to be, the world's best influencer, the world's best butcher, the world's best plumber, you know? So it's all about getting the mental aspect in place. And if you can do that, 2026 is going to be a transformational year for you. If you don't do that, it's going to be the same as 2025, 2024, and 2023, and so on. Okay, I hope you find that useful. I hope you got a little bit of grit from that. That's the whole point of today. And we'll catch up with you on the next podcast. My name's Dan Latto. Have a great day. Take care.